Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome to The Explainer, where today we are turning your fundus exam from a blurry, frustrating nightmare into a super clear, picture-perfect breeze. We're focusing entirely on the ultimate guide to general fundus examination. We've all been there. You're fighting the glare in the room, you lose that beautiful red reflex the second you lean in, or you're dealing with that super awkward nose-to-nose bumping with your patient. It's incredibly frustrating, right? Well, don't worry, because this explainer has the absolute ultimate cheat codes for every single scenario. We're going to break down exactly how you can get a perfect view of the posterior eye, literally every single time. Section 1. Mastering Direct Ophthalmoscopy. We are starting off with our most classic, highly portable tool, the direct ophthalmoscope. This is really your foundation for routine exams. Take a look at the optics inside a modern, self-luminous direct ophthalmoscope. Think of this setup just like a macro lens on a camera. The aperture stop is positioned to be conjugate with the patient's fundus. Now, what does that actually mean for you clinically? Well, it means the optics are perfectly designed to project a sharply defined, adorable little circle of illumination right onto the back of the eye. And that gives you an erect, highly magnified image of the retina. So how do we actually execute this perfectly? First, you observe the external eye and adnexa, then set a mid-sized white beam of moderate intensity with a +10 diopter lens in the lens wheel. And hey, here's a major rookie mistake you absolutely need to avoid: closing one eye. Seriously, keep both eyes open so you don't over-accommodate. Keep your own refractive correction on, focus right through the pupil to check the clarity of the ocular media, find that red reflex, and honestly, just ride that red reflex straight in. Section 2. The systematic retinal tour. Because once you're inside the eye, you can't just look around randomly. We definitely need a structured roadmap. Always start your tour right at the optic disc. You want to systematically check its depth, like is it deep, medium, or shallow. Look at the pinkish hue of the neuroretinal rim and use the handy ISNT rule to make sure the inferior rim is the thickest part, followed by superior, nasal, and temporal. And finally, check out those disc margins and look out for any parapapillary atrophy or myopic crescents. From there, let's see how this builds outward. From the disc, you're going to follow the blood vessels. Check those cute little branching vessels for their artery-to-vein ratio and any weird pinching or tortuosity. After the arcades, carefully inspect the macula. Pro tip, this is way easier when you just have the patient look directly at your light. Finally, widen your search to the mid and far peripheral retina. Remember to ask your patient to look in the 8 cardinal directions of gaze, up, down, left, right, and the diagonals, just so you catch absolutely everything. Doing this ensures a totally comprehensive evaluation of the entire visible fundus. But let's face reality for a second. Sometimes your patient is a wiggly, crying baby or a totally uncooperative toddler, and getting that perfect direct view feels basically impossible. The direct ophthalmoscope has a pretty restricted field of view, which makes it incredibly tough when your target is just constantly moving around. Section 3. Monocular Indirect Ophthalmoscopy. The crucial point here is knowing exactly when it's time to switch up your tools, because sometimes we just need something wider and way more forgiving. Devices like the Welch-Allyn Panoptic are absolute lifesavers. They act like a literal clinical cheat code. By adjusting the focusing and iris diaphragm, this awesome device gives you a gorgeous field of view that's up to 5 times greater than standard direct ophthalmoscopy. This super wide angle lets you see so much more of the retina at a quick glance, which is absolutely perfect for those dynamic or really challenging patients. Section 4. Slit lamp biomicroscopy and condensing lenses. Now for our final boss level. When you have a symptomatic patient, unexplained reduced visual acuity, or when you just need ultimate stability. If your patient has high myopia or really stubborn cataracts, the slit lamp with a high-plus condensing lens is going to be your absolute best friend. Setup is literally everything here. You'll want to use a parallelepiped section of light of moderate width and height at a medium intensity. Keep your microscope at a nice low 10x magnification to start and perfectly align your illumination system with your observation system. Then focus directly on the center of the patient's cornea before you even introduce your lens. When we're looking at our condensing lens options, like the 90 diopter or the superfield lens, this technique gives you a beautiful stereoscopic 3D binocular view. But hey, here is a massive pro tip. Always, always make sure the lettering on the bottom of the lens faces the patient. The V on the Volk lens should be pointing right towards the patient's eye. If it's not, your optics are going to be totally distorted, and nobody wants that. It's all about optics here. As the diopter power of the lens decreases, say moving from a 90D down to a 20D, your magnification goes way up, but your field of view shrinks drastically. It is a really delicate seesaw-like balance. You have to choose the right lens based on whether you need a wide panoramic view of everything or a highly magnified look at one specific tiny lesion. With a slit lamp, the image is real, aerial, reversed, and inverted. To focus this image, introduce your lens about 5 to 11 millimeters from the cornea. Then, simply pull the slit lamp joystick straight back. The surface of the lens gets sharp first, then you'll see a blurred red reflex, and then boom, you pull back just a tiny bit further, and the glorious fundus appears. It's so satisfying.
Comparing our tools side by side really clarifies things. Direct ophthalmoscopy gives you that easy, upright, highly portable view that's suitable for routine screening. Meanwhile, slit lamp biomicroscopy gives you a beautiful stereoscopic 3D view that is completely variable in magnification. And incredibly, it cuts right through dense cataracts and high ametropia like it's nothing.
Let's wrap up this super helpful explainer with 3 key takeaways to ensure you never, ever struggle with a blurry retina again. Number 1, always match the examination technique to the patient's specific needs. Number 2, don't just wander around in there. Master the systematic tour starting from the optic disc and building outward. And number 3, really understand that delicate seesaw relationship between magnification and field of view with your condensing lenses. The only way to master these clinical cheat codes is to actually get out there and use them. So I challenge you to practice these exact steps. Really focus on your slit lamp pullback technique, and remember, keep both eyes open. Thanks so much for joining this explainer. I'll leave you with this one thought. What incredible things will you discover on your very next clinical shift?